Right, hello Washington Eagles. We're going to continue on with Junie B. Jones and that meanie Jim's birthday. So, Junie's lying low. She got in trouble with Mrs. And now, chapter 6 is called Daydreaming. Mrs. took attendance. Attendance is when you say, I'm here, except if you're not here, you have to be quiet. Also, we said, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. That is called opening ceremonies, I think. After that, we sat down, and Mrs. passed out our workbooks. She told us what pages to turn to. It was work about different kinds of shapes, like circles and squares and triangles. I am a breeze at that stuff, only I couldn't even concentrate very good, on account of I kept daydreaming about that birthday party. Daydreaming is just like night dreaming, only it's not night, and you're not asleep, and you're not dreaming. I kept on thinking about how everybody was going to that party. Only not me. I was the only one in all of room 9. I wish Lucille and Grace weren't going too, I thought just to myself, because that would be nice sports of them. After a while, I tapped on Lucille. You're my bestest good friend, I told her. Lucille smiled at me. You're my bestest good friend too, she said. I touched her new dress. You look very precious today, I said. Lucille fluffed herself. Thank you. You look very precious today, too, she said back. I touched her fingernails with polish on them. I wish you and me could be twins, I said. Me too. I wish you and me could be twins, too, she said. Just then my whole face got happy. Lucille, I just thought of something. You and me can pretend we are twins, and we can do everything just the same. And on Saturday, you can come to my house, and I will put nail polish on my nails just like you, and you will stay home from that birthday party just like me. Lucille didn't say anything back. I tapped her. How come you're not talking, twin? I said. How come you're not saying anything back? 'Cause I want to go to the party, that's why, said Lucille. I did a huffy breath at her. Yes, Lucille, I know you want to go to the party, but now you and me are twins, and twins have to do everything just the same. And so if I don't go to the party, then you can't go to the party too, on account of that is twin rules. No, it's not, said Lucille. My cousins are twins, and one is a boy, and one is a girl, and they don't do anything alike. I jumped up from my chair. Yeah, only that is not the kind of twin I want to be, madam, I yelled. Mrs. snapped her fingers at me. Sit down, she hollered. Just then, that Jim I hate turned around in his chair, and he laughed real mean at me, 'cause I was in trouble. Turn around your fatty head, I said, only he didn't turn it around. And so that's how come I had to run to his table, and I had to turn it around for him. Junie B. Jones, shouted Mrs. What are you doing? I am turning around his fatty head, I explained. Mrs. hurried to where I was. Then she took my arm and she marched me into the hall. She pointed to the principal's office. Go, she said, real angry. I did a gulp. Yeah, only I'm not actually supposed to go there anymore, I said. 'Cause me and Mother had to talk about it, and she said for me not to get sent there again. Mrs. Face got red as a tomato. She started counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's how come I hurried up and walked, 'cause teachers who count numbers are the scariest type there is. The story, my story this time, by Junie B. Jones, Chapter 7. Principal is the boss of the school. He lives at the office. I have to go there when I'm unruly. Unruly is a school word for not being ruling. There is a typing lady there. She isn't allowed to smile. Sit down, she said. She pointed at the blue chair. Yeah, only I don't actually like to sit there. Remember that? 'Cause that is where the bad kids sit, and I'm not even bad, I explained. I can explain that to her every time I go there. The typing lady leaned over the counter at me. She made her face look scary at me. Sit down, she said. I sat down. Then I pulled my frog jumper over my face so nobody could see me. Pull your skirt back down, said the typing lady. Yeah, only I'm actually allowed to do this 'cause I have on tights, I said. See them? They are green with little tadpoles on them. Just then I heard the principal's voice. Well, well, Junie B. Jones. What a surprise, he said. My mouth dropped open all the way. Hey, I hollered from under my dress. How did you know it's me under here? 'Cause you can't even see my face. Lucky guess, said the principal. After that, I uncovered my head, and me and him went into his office. I climbed up in the big wood chair. The principal looked very tiredish. He rubbed the sides of his baldy head. Okay, let's hear it. What's your story this time? He said. I sat up straight and tall. My story this time by Junie B. Jones. Once upon a time, I didn't get invited to a meanie boy's birthday, and I'm the only one in all of room 9 who isn't going, and so that's how come I was moving today. Only Mother brought me to school very stiff, and then I was a buzzing bee. Only crybaby William is a squealer, and Lucille wouldn't be a good twin, and so then Mrs. yelled at me, and that's how come I had to twist that Jim's head, and now I'm sitting here in this big wood chair. I folded my arms on my lap. The end. The principal put his head down on his desk. I peeked at him. Are you lying low? I whispered. He sat up again. Then he called my mother on the telephone. Those two talk very often. This time they talked about the birthday party and how I'm not invited. After he hanged up, Principal looked nicer at me. I guess sometimes we grown-ups think we're the only ones with problems, he said. We forget that even when you're little, life can be tough, can't it, Junie B. Jones? Yes, I said, life can get your goat. After that, me and him went out of his office, and he lifted me into the blue chair again. I want you to wait here a minute, he said. There's someone I have to talk to before I can get this settled. Yeah, only guess what? I don't actually want to sit in this chair, I explained. On the count, this is where the bad kids sit, and I'm not even bad. The principal thought and thought, then he snapped his fingers. I think I might have the perfect solution, he said. He went into his office and brought out a giant shopping bag. What if we hide you under here? He asked. If we hide you under this bag, no one will be able to see you at all. I jumped up and down very excited because hiding is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. That's why. Principal sat me down in the chair. He put the giant shopping bag over my head. Hey, who turned out the lights? I said. Then I laughed and laughed because that is called comedy, of course. I bended my knees and pulled them under the bag. I hugged them real tight. Now all you can see is my tippy toes of my shoes, I said, very happy. This is the perfect solution I ever saw. And so how did you ever think of this wonderful thing, I asked. Only Principal didn't answer back. Because probably he went back into his office already. After that, I hid it inside my bag. I hid it a real long time. It was a jillion years, I think. Guess what? This is taking longer than a minute, I said from inside there. The typing lady didn't answer me. Yeah, only I guess what else? My knees are very bended and squished in here, I said, and so this isn't very good for my circulation, probably. Just then my legs started squirming all around because I was getting ants in my pants. That's why, hey, doesn't anybody have ears? Get me out of here right now because I'm at the end of my rope in this thing. Plus, also, I'm getting ants in my... All of a sudden, someone yanked the bag right off my head. It was a scary typing lady. Pants, I said very soft. She took me back into the principal's office, and guess what? That Jim was in there, and he was sitting in the big chair, and the principal was frowning at him. Junie B., our friend Jim here has something he wants to say to you. Don't you, Jim? Said the principal. That meanie Jim didn't answer. He kept on looking at his feet. The principal tapped his fingers. We're waiting, Jim, he said. Then that Jim did a huffy breath. And he said the words, I'm sorry. Principal raised his eyebrows. Sorry for what, Jim? Tell Junie B. what you're sorry for. That Jim stared at his feet some more. I'm sorry I didn't give her an invitation to my party, he said very grumpily. But your mother told you to, didn't she, Jim? Said the principal. Your mother told you to give an invitation to every single person in your class. But you got mad at Junie B. and you decided not to give her one. Isn't that right? That meanie boy did his shoulders up and down. I guess, he said real soft. The principal crossed his arms. And so what are you going to do to correct the problem, he asked. That Jim waited and waited. Then all of a sudden, he got down from his chair and he holded out an invitation to me. My stomach did a flippity-flop. For me? Is it really for me? I said, very squealing. Then I snatched that thing right out of his hand, and I zoomed all around the room. Oh, boy, I said, it's really for me. It's really for me. And so now I'm not the only one. I zoomed all around the big wood chair. The principal looked nervous of me. He hurried up and opened the door. Then I zoomed right out of there, and I didn't stop till I got to room 9. All right, chapter 8. Next day. Love you guys. Be safe. Bye.